go.
Hey, welcome everybody talking non-duality with Surreal G and Rosa.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good evening. Yeah, today we are talking about non-duality with Rosa and Surreal G. So we don't have a plan or anything. We don't have a fixed schedule. What are we going to talk about? So we see whatever seems to be happening is just okay. No rules. But to start, Surreal G, um, I saw your post on the Facebook and I really liked them. And I was wondering if you can tell a little bit about the story, how you come to non-duality, duality, radicality, and all that. Um, if you would like.
It's you don't you kind of just get brought into it. You kind of get sucked into it. You can't. It's not something you can just you know. It's weird. It's weird how it all comes together. How a seeker's born. You don't know until it happens. Until you start and until it hits you and you start looking for something that's that's not quite there. Then then you start searching for things.
Yeah.
So,
Was there?
so there was a searching for something, or
It, you start looking for happiness. The simplest thing is like, why am I not smiling? Why is there this hole in your so deep that you can't find it? It's like something's following you around for a long time, and you gotta find out what it is. You gotta dig, and then there's no stopping it. You can stop halfway, but then you're not gonna end up in the same spot that you were when you started. You kind of there's a hole that has to be filled, and when you find out it can't ever be filled, it's kind of like you get it all at once.
exactly beautiful. Hey, and when does this apparent hole seem to be filled?
It fills itself with everything. It's always here. It's everywhere. It's like you're swimming in a reality, and you think you're a fish, but it's not like that. It's you, it's not. There's a lot of things that it looks like are outside, but everything is all here. And then how do you say it in words was my problem. I just have to go look at clouds, and then I'm kind of like, all right, I get it, but can I put it in the correct words? No. There's no 1, 2, 3 or ABC at all. So there's no way to say, hey, it started here. Here's lesson one. Here's lesson two. Lesson three. It's like which lesson hurt the most is probably one of your best chances. Like you got to dig into the scars. You got to jump into this stuff.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
beautiful, beautiful. So there was a kind of suffering in the story, right? Which kind of make this character seeking. Just a story, but it's
It just kind of you get to a point where it's like you have no option. It's sink or swim. You're in the middle of the ocean and you're drowning. So either you're going to let go or you're going to try and survive. And when you got to sink, the survival method is just learning more, grabbing more, hoping for more. It's always the next thing's going to get me out of it, or the next thing I buy would make me happy. It's not. It's fully drowning. There's nothing left. You can't leave anything behind. It's all in.
Yes.
And then on the other side of it is weird because it feels like you've transitioned through a door, but there's no such thing as a door. So how, so it can't be closed because you never knew it was even there. And then you start seeing things completely different. It's like it's impossible for me to take things too serious, no matter what it is. You know, they're like, I see people, I see characters playing a role as if they're acting, but don't know they're acting. So all my conversations have to be on the surface. And it's so I kind of hide from going into crowds and talking to people, and you can't, because it's like you
Beautiful.
just stories, and I don't like stories. I don't have time or energy to hear
Yeah.
them. So if in groups, I'll write something really small because I don't want a 20-minute explanation on, a reality that they don't know what they're talking about. It's just the bigger the words, the longer the writing, the further they're invested in what they imagine is their home. And it's like, I just tried to burn your home down and you're rebuilding it. So usually it's done with like short words, short sentences, jokes, whatever I can to
Jokes.
just throw something off.
Get him.
You,
Get him.
yeah,
Yeah, I like the short comments and the mind blowing turnarounds and yeah, you know, like throwing the dog bone into the dog kennel and everybody's jumping on it and shred it to pieces and yeah, stirring up the beehives as you told me. Yeah,
I like to it's kind of fun because I would go into a big group and then say something that would just throw them all off, get them all wild and crazy and defending. But then it's usually the ones that I I can tell within a couple words if someone's there because it's usually light humor. It's a real quick joke back. Nothing was taken serious, and then it's like, it's kind of like out of 1,000 people in a group, I could I can get them all upset, and not trying to hurt their feelings, but it's like I don't take your character serious, so it's not like I'm hurting anything, but I do like kind of moving them around a little bit. But it's funny, there'll be one or two out of 1,000 that get it.
yeah.
And usually that's how we end up being friends. It's the ones that like get the humor behind it because it's not something serious, and it's just done different.
Yes. And I mean, this is seen a lot that at one point this whole seriousness, it just simply drops out of whatever seems to happen, you know, there's no seriousness anymore when it comes to this, you know, everything becomes just a play, you know.
Yeah.
So is this something which, I mean, some will say it's a shift from serious to not seriousness, but is this something which just happened in the story also, like a sudden shift in, or was it always like that? Was the story always playing like a jokefulness and or
Years and years. I think it's about 8 years ago now, 8.5 years ago now. Um, and it was so quick and so sudden that I was just sitting on the couch, and I remember um, I got up, and so did something else. and we walked separate ways. And it was like there wasn't. It was just like we didn't even say goodbye to each other. It was just gone. I didn't feel bad, but what I felt was light, like completely light. And then it got really kind of where the news story comes in is when I went and looked in the mirror, and I'm like, I didn't recognize this costume, but I saw he had been through a war. And so the only thing I had left to put on is I got to put this back on, but I didn't recognize any of the tattoos. I didn't recognize my own eyes. I
Wow.
was like, it was kind of like, all right, so here's my costume that I have to wear now. And it's kind of funny. It's like, all right, this is what I get to wear. But it's kind of like a light jacket now.
Yeah.
This is how people they see me like this, but underneath is completely there's nothing there.
No. Beautiful. No, there's nothing behind the peel or behind what is seen. No, it's
It's that's why I kind of have to hide a little bit because people like to talk to me about tattoos or football or fighting or anything
yeah,
to do with. I'm like, hey, I mean, I feel like the Disney character Sully,
yeah.
like a big blue furry monster. And that's how everybody sees me until you talk to me.
Yeah, because the suit doesn't seem to fit the
It doesn't
character,
fit the voice.
the voice. Yes, totally. And this is also, it's so amazing. I mean, it's so beautiful that, and in a way, in one way, it's also quite how you say it, strange that there's so many people seem to be focused on how people look nowadays. The tattoos, there's already directly thoughts arising, okay, this is a motor guy or drinking beer or fighting or whatever. I mean,
It's all day long. I mean, and this is like, and I have to wear it. It's like Halloween every day, So
Cool. Cool. Mm.
and I mean, there's no escaping either. I mean, there's nobody doing this judging or seeing. I mean, thoughts about, oh, this guy is maybe a motor guy or a fighting guy. It's just simply what seems to be happening. There's no one able to stop it already. That's just simply how it seems to play out in this dream or play or illusion or whatever you call it. This whatever seems to happen and not happen at the same time. But of course, there seems to be apparent consequences also hanging on this apparent suit, which nobody is already wearing, right?
you still have to pay your mortgage. You still have to put gas in the car. You still have to. Um, it's just normal stuff. The body falls apart. You got injuries. You got all kinds of things
Oh
that
yeah.
that come with. It all comes as one package. You can't escape your package, but it's different when it's not owned.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not your package as an actual you having a package or having a body or a costume, right? I mean, there's no you to escape whatever seems to happen. I mean, although,
Even no matter what you do, no matter if you try and meditate as deep as you want into the darkest realm that you get, you're still in it. No matter how far away you try and get from it, it's still in it. It's still here. It's I thought meditation, LSD, anything would just to like you want to expand to like a bigger realm, but when you find out there's no realm, experimenting that really goes nowhere. You still end up here, and you have two eyes, but it depends on what you see out of them. I see clouds, but I don't see problems. I don't see it's it's kind of neat being unattached to everything, but you're still here.
Well,
You're like,
in a way, still being here is I mean, you're here and not here at the same time. I mean, who's there to know if you're here or not here to begin with, right? I mean, to validate the realness or the unrealness of whatever seems to be happening, like this conversation, three people sitting and talking, is just also what seems to be happening, right?
it's just the reason we're talking with each other right now is just because the universe was like, hey, let's just line up a little bit, and you happen to be a part of that direction. If there's a direction,
I,
it's
I would put it into like the reason for this is there is no reason. There is just this. And this is perfection. This is unknown perfection. It's too simple. It's too simple.
yeah.
And I love it.
Well, reason and no reason. As an actuality, there is no reason, right? But there are apparent reasons why this conversation seems to be happening, and but there's no way of knowing if one of those reasons is actual to begin with, right? I mean, the universe or the law for this, it's also a reason. The apparent reason is there seems to be a law for speaking about this, which is difficult to talk about because there's no you, me, or Rosa and this to talk about. So it's
It's
difficult to say,
everything. It's Zana, sorry. I have to
Everything.
interrupt you. Always when I hear this, exactly as you put it now, sometimes differently, here's always popping up this, it's too simple. It's
Simple.
everything. Here's always the turn into the simplicity, and it's every word, it's every movement, everything is it. It's not hidden because it's everything. That's why it's not difficult to talk about it. It's screaming. Okay, sorry.
No, it is like that. It's the I think the problem, and everybody gets to that final word where it says this, and
Boom.
no one could explain this.
Exactly.
It's beyond color, beyond your senses, beyond anything that makes sense. It doesn't. It's not something that you can hand out. It's not something that's here. It's not over there, and there's no every direction we take is dream. So
There must be someone who can understand this. There is no understanding of this. This is unknown since there is nothing. There is simply no separation. How to put it differently? It's just full on this already. beyond any comprehension.
Yeah, but you're not. It's funny because most people are trying to turn it on so they can see it, but the problem it's
Who can see it?
never been off.
Yeah,
So
everything is it.
looking for something that quite literally isn't there, you're always going to be just one step behind it or one step in front of it. You'll miss it every single time. You have to just go sit outside, put your feet on the ground, look up. I like clouds, and I like
Yeah.
taking feet in the creek, um, and silence. The rest of it all too much noise.
Well, it's perfection, you know. It that's just simply how it plays, you know. Uh, Putting feet up in a creek, down in the creek, and looking at the sky is just simply what seems to be happening, and it's perfect. You know, there's no one actually deciding to do that. I mean, there's no one behind the tattooed skin and the strong looks. You know, it's just simply playing out as it plays out, as it seems to play out. I mean, there are many speakers who say there's just this, but I mean, no one knows what this is and if this is to begin with. You know, there's no knowing with you know, or like there's just life. You know, I mean, who knows? There's just life. I mean, there is life and there isn't life. You know, there's no way of knowing what this is. Yet, this is all there is. And at the same time, it's nothing. And even not nothing. I mean, what's nothing? What's this? What's nothing? It's just what Rosa used to say. It's blah, 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 blah. You might, I mean,
It's
It's yeah.
been almost a year reading and working on just the it was literally for 1 year I was just working on the word is it or isn't it, is it or isn't it, and it wouldn't stop ringing in my head for a year.
Wow.
well, it is and it isn't, both
And
and neither.
neither.
I would have looked like a crazy guy writing is or isn't or just like, is there anything that is or not, and we're pretending that it is, and then and and,
This
and then that one.
is trying to understand, to get it, to get it. Who can get this? Who can get this? The confusion is it? The not knowing is it?
It's beyond understanding, but our mind wants to understand it. So you get
Beautiful.
stuck in the middle. You cannot stop. There's no stopping it.
No, because there's no one doing it already. If there was someone who is doing this, you know, a little Rosa or Sander or Surreal G, who is already doing this, then there maybe would be a possibility to stop it. But there's already these words are come from an empty face. I mean, not even from a face. I mean, some seems to stop and say this is the brain, you know, it's all the brain, or it's all the mind, or it's all awareness, or it's all consciousness, but those are just positions. It doesn't mean anything. Nobody knows a brain or has seen
Yeah.
a brain
Yeah.
or consciousness, you know. It's all you know, it's the same with this is all energy. That's just crap. It's just
No,
bullshit.
no matter what you label it or what is said, this is it already. You can't get, there is no one who can make a mistake by, saying something wrong or saying something. There is no right, no wrong in this. This is the fucking freedom. Everything is it. The freedom. This is so free to be as it is, and this is this perfection. All those characters playing out like little Zanderleinchen. words.
It takes a long time. It, it's weird. It takes a long time to figure out that you're not playing your own character. That's not something that's very easy to. You can't trick your mind into tricking your mind. You can't. It, it's like you're trying to think outside your brain, and your brain just keeps creating more and more things to try and jump or run or hide or learn, and it's not. It's forever. There has to be a catalyst for, for for when the seeking starts and when it ends. Usually, to me, it was trauma. I think that starts it, and then you want a way out. Like it's like you're being trapped in a building and it's on fire, and you're gonna escape one way or the other, and you're gonna burn in your mind for it could be years. I mean, I think I was in my head for 20 years of a, just joking, but it'd be a dark night of the soul, at least 20 years.
Hmm. Yeah.
And suddenly, I mean, anything can happen, like the sense or the thought that I'm stuck, and then suddenly the apparent collapse of this sense of being stuck in a head, and then there's just unstuckness for no one to be stuck or to not be stuck. You know, when the scene that there was not a Surreal G stuck in something ever. I mean, then there's just this whatever seems to arise.
I mean, it happens so quick, but it takes so long. And it's weird. It's like I see um there's no method, there's no reason, there's no teacher out there that can give you this. There's no teaching. All
Because
the
there is
teachers
no
are,
you, there is no separation, there is no you, there is no teacher, there's always perfection playing automatically.
but there's always that there's a driving force when you're looking for something that you have no control over.
Perfection.
It's like pushing you towards to look for teachers that can help you with answers. And the more teachers you find, the more questions you have.
But isn't it beautiful, Suriji? Is not this beautiful? Can you see the
Now,
perfection in this?
now it's fun. Now I just play with words because it's all we have. Like I just have to. I just like to throw words out there and see how it lands and see if something comes up. But usually it's all just fun.
Yeah, and it's funny when you say all we have is just words, which essentially is words saying that all we have is just words, right?
Meaningless.
So I mean, or all we have is a story, which is just simply a story, which is just a bunch of words, throwing
Yeah,
words.
it's funny. I've been trying to write a book for
Oh,
like every time I write something down, it's like it's okay. Well, that's the next thing. That's the next thing. That's the next thing. It's like I can't keep up with my own book. Like there's no point. I've
No, no,
got
there's
like
no.
books sitting here and with thousands of pages, and I'm like, that's just not it. That's not the simplest answer. Like for me, I, I like I want it to be simple. The simpler I could write it,
yeah.
the the sharper I could be with my tongue, the funnier it could be, and it would be that would make sense. I could write a book in 2 paragraphs, but that's not a book. I have a story to it, and I don't have one that makes sense.
You know, Suraj, it's quite funny now while listening to this. It's really funny because here, no matter what's coming out, this is it. So, you know, I can write about veggies and potatoes, and this would be exactly this, you know. And then the next book, and it's gonna be always perfect, no matter what.
Yeah, it comes out. It's
Yeah.
just that's why
It's too simple to even write about it, you know. I mean, it's so direct. I mean, it's just simply this already. So
It's
that's why
how
shouting at you.
yeah, how you can write about this, you know? I mean, just it will do with the word this. And then of course it's just also a misnomer this because there is no this to begin with as in actuality. So even so I saw this with many teachings also about but you know, as a teacher you can say, yeah, but it's just this, you know, just this is it, you know, you're finished, that's the whole teaching. And at the same time there is no this, there is no actual this or that, you
but
know, there's not that, it's so simple that there's not really anything to say about it, but still talking and speaking and writing and trying to figure it out and to whatever is to simply what seems to be happening, which is this already.
that, that
Eh,
that's why my writing is usually I wake up, make some coffee, and then I just let it fly. I don't hold back. I don't care which direction it's going. It's just that's the direction it is right then.
yeah.
Yes,
Just
totally.
what's
Yeah,
popping up,
simple.
just what's
What
coming up.
yeah,
Everything is
So
it.
yes.
it might be poetry. It might just be messing with the non-duality guys. It might be saying something about vegans. It doesn't matter. It just whatever comes up in the morning is like I let it fly, and I try and just to the point where I won't get kicked off. But usually um I think they put me on a 30 day Facebook jail. And then I'm like, I can't write, I can't do anything.
How does that feel? I mean, what's coming up there then when you're in jail?
Facebook jail is funny, is great because I'm like, you just because I'm in Facebook jail doesn't mean it stops. Like it probably like gives the groups a whole month to regroup, like to build up their beliefs again and get comfortable. And I've got this and I've got that, and then a month comes later, and the first thing that comes up is like, yeah, this should get the whole group on fire.
This is
Boom.
how it seems to be playing there. Then this character Cyril G is just stirring up the groups and making everybody go crazy and reassess their belief systems and try to rearrange whatever positions they have landed on, which is just the positions, because just this is just another position, or just life is just another position, you know, it's all just positions. And even that, always a position, is just another position. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no way of, you know, and there seems to be a, a, a joy in kicking off people, characters, of the positions they seem to have landed on.
and the funniest thing is for me, it's not mean because it's just your character. I mean, it'd be like, people talk about actors all the time, and oh, that it's like that's just their character they're playing. They go
Yeah.
home and they
Yeah.
lives.
Nobody gets hurt. I mean, nobody actually is, you know, there's already no Cyril G doing anything or not doing anything to begin with. And I mean, maybe there's hurt or irritation, but there's nobody on an other side. There is no other side, and nobody there who is getting hurt or stressed. I mean, although frustration can seem to appear for nobody to actually be frustrated or to get kicked off.
That's fun. Usually I'm typing and smiling and laughing at the same time, and I'm like, all right, I got to go to work. We'll see what happens, and then you check later, and everybody's gone crazy. It's like, yeah, that was a pretty funny morning, And then it's
Beautiful.
like, then I suit up, I go to work, deal with people all day long. It's I rarely have any of these deep conversations with anybody because I play the part. I got to go to work and do what I do, but everybody's surface, so like we stay on the surface, and it's so rare that it could be deeper. I like to see how deep you can go with words.
Yeah,
If
this
that
is
may,
beautiful. This is beautiful. Let's see in part number 2 how deep we can go with words, okay? So, I see you later then. Okay.